How is it that Canada is running all these amazing programs to hire foreigners and not many people know about it? Well, that's because the labor shortages in Canada have reached at an all-time high and these programs are relatively new. And you don't have to worry about missing out on any of these programs because on my channel here on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok, you will always be updated with the most latest. So my dear friends, if you're looking to move to Canada on a work permit, this video is for you. Hello and namaste, my name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discovering yet another way, or let me say it this way, another two pathways of working in Canada. And so if you are somebody who's been dreaming about this for a long while, then this video is for you, so make sure you stick around. Before we delve any further into this video, I quickly want to talk about how the immigration system here in Canada works. There are two levels of immigration, the federal and the provincial. The federal is basically the central government deciding where is it that they see job shortages and who is it that they want to get into the country. The provincial is where the provinces individually decide who is it that they want. For example, there could be a shortage in a particular industry in, say, Alberta, but the same shortage might not exist in Ontario. And so Alberta and Ontario, and similarly all other Canadian provinces, have the right to decide who is it that they want on work permit, provincial PR, or any other pathway in their province. Luckily, the Canadian immigration system gives provinces a lot of rights. And so they get to make their own headway in terms of how they want to pursue immigration and get foreigners into their provinces. One such province is New Brunswick. They offer a bunch of programs for immigrants. If you head to their immigration website, here's what you will see. There's the New Brunswick Skilled Worker Stream, the Express Entry Stream, the Transport Truck Driver Stream, the Business Immigration Stream. There's also an initiative for French-speaking immigrants. There's Atlantic Immigration Program, there's Critical Worker Pilot, and then there's the Private Career College Graduate Pilot Program. And obviously, there are tons of resources. I know it's not humanly possible to know each of these programs and identify your suitability. That's why I filtered out my favorites, and I'm only going to be talking about two programs in details. These two programs would apply to almost all my subscribers. Of course, the other programs could also apply to you and you can go and look at those, but these two will definitely apply to you. The first one is the online recruitment fair. This is plain Jane, it's exactly what the name says. There's an online recruitment fair and you can apply to that. Now, before we talk about the fair itself, let's talk about the one most important thing that will decide whether you get the job or not. That's going to be your communication skill. One of the things that immigrants always forget is that the accent in North America is very different from their home country. Back in the days when I first moved to the US, I had a lot of trouble following the accent here. English is not my first language, I wasn't very confident in it, and it really held me back in my career. Since English was the only way that I could communicate here, my whole journey was very tough. And I've also made a video about it. But you know what? This was 7 years ago. Things are very different right now. I recently discovered an amazing app that's called Bold Voice, and I want to thank Bold Voice for partnering with me on today's video. It helps non-native English speakers practice their communication skills, their pronunciation, their grammar, all of it, and speak English more confidently. So let's talk about how does this app work. This app gives you access to their library of video lessons and a variety of practice materials. And it has an immediate feedback feature. So as you practice your pronunciation on this app, their advanced speech artificial intelligence instantly scores you and gives you a feedback. You'll also get suggestions about how you can improve your pronunciation. So there'll be a score and there'll be feedback about how you can improve, and you can keep doing your practice until you get it right. Bold Voice believes that instant feedback is the most critical when you're trying anything new, when you're learning anything new, because it can actually set the tone for your practice. One of the coolest things about this app is that its curriculum is intentionally designed. In fact, it's personalized according to your native language. That means you don't have to waste time searching for what you need to learn. Everything is here. And along with practicing pronunciation, you can also work on forming sentences and testing your accent. This will help you track your progress. The lesson plans are already pre-built into the app, which will keep on unlocking as you go through the lessons and practice sessions. And you know what the best part is? It is an app that was created by immigrants for immigrants. So it's made by someone who really understands our pain. Honestly, I wish I had an app like this back when I moved in 2016. But you have it, so make sure you make use of it. Learn to speak English with confidence and clarity. Your accent will not hold you back anymore. Thank you for existing, Bold Voice. And now let's quickly jump back into what the recruitment fairs are that New Brunswick holds and how you can make the most of it. Alright, so these recruitment events are done virtually and in person. The in-person events are sometimes within Canada in different provinces, of course, or sometimes it is outside of Canada. I would always recommend that you keep checking this website. And if there's an in-person event that's happening in your country or your city, make sure you try and attend it. But if that doesn't work out for you, the virtual recruitment fairs are always there. These are done on a monthly basis. And it's a very simple form that you have to fill up. Of course, they need a lot of information, but we'll talk about all of that. So like I said, there's a simple form that you have to fill up. The form is up on the screen right now. You will have to give some information about your skill sets, your experience, what your training has been like, and some immigration info as well. You'll also have to upload some documents about yourself, your professional self obviously, and only after that will you be eligible to attend the event. They will be using this form and filtering candidates out and then presenting the final set of candidates to the employers in New Brunswick. So this is definitely an amazing way of getting a job in Canada. Now there is the other pathway that I was talking about. This is the critical worker pilot. By the name itself, I'm sure you can understand that this is a pilot. So this is something that they're trying out. They'll see how it goes. And if it is something that works for them, it'll definitely stay. Many people don't know this, but Canada regularly runs different pilots. And in my experience, all the pilots have always stayed. Not to say that you have a lot of time. Of course, this pilot will only expand. That's the hope that we all have. But if it works for you right now, if you meet the eligibility criteria, I highly recommend that you go and do all the application right now. In this pilot, you will be applying to the career portals of the companies directly. It was a 5-year pilot that was started to get talent into Canada, especially into New Brunswick, and fill the talent gap and labor shortage that employers in New Brunswick are facing. Such occupations have historically been tough to fill and are expected to still be tough to fill in even in the future years. But the program managers here will not be taking any application. So it's not like the program that we spoke about previously. In that, the application goes directly to the government of New Brunswick. They filter out the applicants and then present it to the employers. Here, you will be the one doing all the hard work, so you will be applying to the employers directly. There's a certain list of employers who are eligible for this, and thankfully right now that list is very short. I know that that means lesser jobs, just in the terms of real numbers, but in my opinion, it also means a more direct and targeted search. You can find the employers on the website itself. I'm going to be taking a few names: Cook Aquaculture, McCain Foods, Imperial Manufacturing Group, etc. So if you're interested in this program, just go to their career portals, go to the career section, and then see what jobs are available and apply for those. If you qualify for any of the jobs, you will automatically qualify under this pilot. So you don't have to send your resume to Immigration NB or anything like that. Now keep in mind that these are not the only options that you can use to go to New Brunswick or move to Canada. There are multiple other pathways. I keep covering all these pathways on my Instagram and TikTok, and obviously on YouTube as well. In fact, there was a virtual recruitment fair that the Government of Canada just completed. The deadline for that was March 5th. I posted about it on my Instagram. So make sure you're following me there because I have a lot more content that's coming up on a regular basis. I'm also going to talk about the NB skilled worker stream. In this, the biggest criteria is that you already need a work letter, like you need an employment offer from an employer. And all of this really depends on how many spots they're allocated by the federal government. But the government has already issued knock codes, so you can see if you fall in any of these knock codes, make sure you try for this particular stream. Then obviously there's the business immigration stream. If you are somebody who has an entrepreneurial mindset, if you're an innovator, if you're a creator, if you can make something new, if you can do something that can be good for the province of New Brunswick or Canada in general, this is one of the pathways that you can use. Again, like I said, there are multiple pathways. I feel like these are my top 4. The top 2 would probably apply to almost everyone. The third one would apply to anyone whose occupation is sitting in the knock codes that are coming up. So if your occupation is sitting in the knock code that the government has already laid out, that's definitely for you. And then finally, if you're somebody who's a creator, an innovator, an entrepreneur, then the fourth stream, which is the business stream, is for you. But if you don't fall in any of these pathways, or if you want to try multiple pathways just to keep your ball rolling, then look at the other ones as well, especially the Atlantic Immigration Program. I will leave you a curious cat here and cover that in the next video. So make sure you stay subscribed to stay updated. And don't forget to check Bold Voice out for some amazing communication skills. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, make sure you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.